Well, welcome back. Sorry about that. We had a little bit of a hiccup. Had a crash to desktop. It's been a while since I've had a crash to desktop, so I guess we can consider ourselves lucky. So we'll go ahead and get us started back up really quickly. And we've got nav strobes are all on, gears down, and all good. Ignition is on, and starter is on, and just monitoring our NG. 13% starter light is illuminating. I was reading the manual, and you can have the starter on for 60 seconds while on the ground. 30 to 60 seconds, so there's 13%. Go ahead and low idle. Yeah, I got to start completely all the way back over. And we'll go ahead and feather and turn the starter and ignition off. We just had a exceedance on our ITT, so maybe that was some of the issue. But noticing that it's been whenever it starts back up, the ITT is slowly getting higher and higher. So we will. All right. So we put it in the shop and we have gotten everything taken care of. So we will repair the engine. We are all good, so we'll go ignition to the on position, starter on, waiting for our 13% NG, 13% into low idle, and there's our 50%, and we are good. And so ignition comes to auto, starter comes off, and everything else is good. And turn on our RMIs, and gyros, and clear our messages. There we go. Yeah, we had to stop the prop. We started to ITT was too high, so we had to stop that. So we had to have an immediate shutdown. It feels good to be back in Tennessee. Yeah, well, unfortunately, I don't think so. I don't like, not whenever I'm streaming, I don't like to have crash to desktops. It kind of stinks. So just getting everything set back up here, and engine and oil temperatures are all good, so everything looks good. So everything's holding steady. So let's go ahead and trims are all set. Flaps are set to take off. Get our bleeds put on and get our air conditioning, get it a little warmer in here. And let's get our flight plan all set up. So KDTS, enter, back to it, procedures, departure, apply departure, and that's the wrong airport, so we'll remove waypoint. That was weird how it said international, or even the correct airport. KBNA, destination is KDTS, enter, procedures, departure. And we're doing the flame 3, runway 20 center, transition is Jindy. It's everything else looks good. It's looking good. What's up, Todd? What's going on, man? You just missed it. We just had a crash to desktop. I don't know why. It's been a while since I had one of those. Todd is the man behind all these instrument panels there, Ghost. So looks like you were right. One of the lights is not working on the landing gear. But yeah, still the EFIS, the one that you just sent me, still not working. Touch it, doesn't move anything. So not exactly sure what's going on with that. But yeah. Anyway, so we'll get on our way. I think that was one of the only ones that wasn't working. The panel and instrument lights, those work. Everything else seems to be working. It's just the engine trend gauge is not working. I wonder if it's kind of like there used to be a thing inside the CRJ that once we turn this down here, then yeah, it's weak. As soon as you turn it in the virtual cockpit, bad plugin. Let's try the plugin. See if I can update the plugin. Wrong version. Yeah, possibly. Here, let me install a new plugin real quick. It takes just a minute. Get that going. Airman. Let's try the flight sim plugin for maybe 4.2. We'll try this one. 4.1 that was downloaded on January 10th. That one did. But your messages work up here. So I moved my messages. Those were working earlier, which is pretty cool. Yeah, that's weird how they're not working in mine. Let me try the 4.2. See if that flight sent that plugin. I literally didn't get hardly far at all. Literally just kind of took off and got up to like 6,000 feet, and she crashed. Well, it worked the first time I touched it, but now it didn't work. Now it's not working. So I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. So, but anywho, let's get out of here. What do you say? Yeah, it is weird. I don't know. Taxi light's on. That's weird. Taxi light was. So let's go back to the. Let's try this plugin, because now the taxi light is not working either. So we'll turn Air Manager off and we'll restart Air Manager. See if that makes a difference while we're taxiing. We're going up to 26,000 is what we were planning on cruising at. Hey, what's up, buddy? Come on out. We'll take a left here. Since we had engine problems, we'll go ahead and take all of the runway. We'll use up all available runway. Flaps are set. Landing lights are coming on. And inertial separator's on. Pitot heat's coming on. Pitot 1 and 2. attitude indicator in HSI is not showing. So that means that we just need to go in here to Air Manager and need to find our attitude bezel, turn off mask screen with master power because it is on, and restart the panel. We can figure out mess more stuff whenever we're inertial separator is on, and that's weird because the master caution was blinking in the virtual cockpit, but it didn't blink on my Air Manager panel. No, it's not working now. So I got some more plugins I can try. Maybe send me the plugin that you're using. Oh, actually, never mind. I got the link to it, so we'll get it as we take off. So flaps are set. Everything else is good. Flaps are indicating takeoff. Everything looks good. And we'll hold power here. And there we go. Takeoff power is set. Airspeed's alive. Engine instruments are green. Tap the brakes. Positive brake coming up. Destin through 120. Flaps are coming up. And you can come on. We'll go ahead and hit in nav mode. And we'll turn our autopilot on. And we'll climb on out in IAS mode. Stuff gets out of whack. It needs to be synced from the get-go. Yeah. Yes, he did. Todd did a phenomenal job on these instruments. We're climbing on out by plane. Also, there's an update to Direct Jindy. There's an update to the Microsoft Flight Simulator. Sorry, I was looking around. As we climb on out here, and it's 3000. Okay, after flight start. Yeah, I can, whenever we get on the ground, restart and see if what's going on and see what needs to happen. So I can definitely take a look at that, and hopefully that works just fine. But yeah, the plugins that I have plugin 4.1 that was downloaded on the January 29th, January 10th, and then I have one that was back on October 25th, 2023. Might try that one. Let's try that. That one's an old one. Maybe that one will work. We'll see. But we'll go ahead and pull us back just below 100% torque. Pull us back to about 92. And we'll go ahead and go into 850 mode. In 850 mode. And now we can go ahead and increase the torque up past 100%. Yeah, something's a little off because the on my instrument gauge here isn't matching and following the virtual cockpit, so we'll get it all worked out one way or another. Inertial separator is on. Inertial separator is off. Well, that's weird. None of these are working. Yeah, it just needs to probably work from the start. Just need to exit out of the whole flight simulator and restart, but we'll get there once we get old Ghost over to Destin. Oh, looks like he's gone. Well, circuit breakers are in. All those are in, so climb through 12,000 and go ahead and turn our landing lights off. Skip that version. What happens if we know we exceeded it? Go ahead and set that to 26. We start to climb out, and we want to turn that sucker up as high as she'll go, so start pressurizing, baby. We'll pressurize as fast as we can, and since we're worried about our cabin pressure, we'll go ahead and put in our altitude here and level off and let the pressurization catch up. Yeah, it's matching now. I think the torque meter is, but now the ITT is dead. It's not doing anything on my panel. Since I turned off Air Manager and then turned it back on, and it seemed like it caught everything back up. And then now we can go ahead and VS it, and we'll arm VS. We'll do that at 2,500 feet per minute. Actually, we'll go to 3,000 feet per minute. Watch the airspeed start to bleed off. I've never seen that happen. I think you still have something weird about your install, or you have an old version of the instruments, or yeah, it could be an old version of the instruments, which is weird though, because whenever I put the instruments back into my folder, into Air Manager, it had all the stuff that I downloaded, because I came down here last night and downloaded the trims and some of the other stuff that you had posted, because I hadn't downloaded that yet. So I got all that downloaded and installed last night, and then I left, and then I decided today that I was going to remote in and roll back to 4.1. So I saved all of my instruments as of last night, so I might need to do just a whole delete all the instruments that I have, go back to the drive and re-download. Maybe I don't know. So there's 140, so we'll go ahead and click IAS mode. So, but it is weird. I agree. I obviously don't have the new one because the CDI changed on the GNS 430. It changed the GPS on the HSI whenever I clicked CDI, so there might be some foobar going on around here. With me, you never know, man. So let's go back to torque. Just check the ITT and G prop over the full range, and my needles are matched exactly. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to the message that you sent me that had the point one that I downloaded. So I'm gonna go back in there and see if if I can't download that and see what plugin you have, and then after I get done, I'll close out of the sim, download that plugin, install that plugin, and then relaunch everything and see if that helps. Just going back through the messages now to see if it's... I'll try that one. Okay, yeah, that's what I'll do. That'll be a plan. Just going back through our messages and looking for where you sent that. There it is. There's a link to the drive, so let's go to the drive, download anyway, SSD, we'll go to, let's put this in here, we'll save it to here. Alright, so there's the plugin. That's the plugin that you have is 11/4/2023, so I'm having to rebuild your panels once again when I send you the new batch. They are all different UUIDs. Okay, that's fine. I can't wait to try out the pictures that you've shown of the nighttime is awesome. I can't wait. So I got that plugin that you sent me installed. I'm going to close out of Air Manager. Not that it will make a difference, but I'll just close out of Air Manager and then relaunch it. So now I'm running the same one that you are. Just let me know whenever you don't mind to send those over, whenever you get around to fixing them all up. But also too, I don't know if, since this might have something to do with it, because it won't come off of that. I tried hitting reset. I fixed the engine problem in here. It says engine condition is 100%. In active failures, there is no active failures. Reset to default. Yes. Try the EFIS. The switch is down on my panel here. As you can see, the switch is right there pointing down. So it's still not working. I just tried it. Sounds good. Sounds good. On the landing gear, does the test lights work? I guess I could probably do that now. Yep. That all works great. Toggle it in the virtual cockpit. Okay. Won't let me toggle it. Oh, there it works now. It did that to me earlier whenever I was trying to use the engine trend. It wouldn't work, but now the engine is working, which is funny. But yes, the EFIS did work now, so. But we need to get in nav mode here. Let's go flight plan, let's go direct DTS, activate. I did find out that if you click this, you can switch over to toggle between the TDS and the PMS. That's how you toggle between the two. So now you can go like this, and now you can use the TDS for supposedly, but I'm in the mid-air now, so that's probably not going to work. Yeah, she's something's a little foobar. Yeah, it gets out of sync. Oh, you just click on the memory card. So if you click on the memory card while you're in the simulator, it'll switch from using the PMS to flip over to using the TDS mid-flight. I think I might have broke the airplane because it's not wanting to follow the GPS at all. So let's go back to flight plan. We'll go to direct, activate direct. There it goes. These instruments you have to pick one or the other, virtual cockpit or Air Manager. If you touch the virtual cockpit, then all bets are off. Yeah, no, I'm sure of that. And most of the time I have just used all these instruments. I don't even use the virtual cockpit, especially as good of a job as we've done on these. Well, let me rephrase, as good a job as you have done. They look awesome. Even the fuel selector, I think looks pretty good too. Also, would you send me your, I think I may have lost the Hobbs meter, because the Hobbs meters that I have do not look good at all. Because here's what I have. So if I go to Hobbs, I only have these, and this is the one that I'm using now, but this one here is not the circle one. You can't choose the circle. So that's what I'm using now, is this one, but it does not look good. I had one, but I don't know where the one that I had I thought was this one, but I've tried placing this one and adding that one. It's from SIMSTRUMENTATION GitHub. Oh, okay. Let's go get it. Generic. Pass it. There we go. Hobbs meter. Download. Error. Cool. That'll work. And save as. Okay. SSD manager. We'll just put it in here. Yeah, I was wondering why is it looks like the internet connection is down. Please check in. Might let Crunch know about that. I don't know what that's about. Makes it matter better. Still need to make that. Has darkening. Gotcha. Well, there used to be one that I had. I don't know where it was, but it looked identical to that. I mean, it had the screws and the inset and everything. It was a pretty good one. Ours looks pretty good, though. I can't say that. It needs a little bit of maybe some shadowing or something. Maybe it needs some Todd special with some screws added. How's the volume levels? Is the virtual cockpit too loud or anything like that? Well, then that's good feedback. Let's try and see if we can't figure that out. It might be a filter that I have. How's that? Is that a little bit better? Or is that a little bit better? How about this? Let's try this. Volume is okay. Your voice is just really muffled. What about the volume of the simulator? Is that any better? Because before I used to have the volume of the sim that was turned up too loud, and then the volume of the simulator was turned up too loud, so it would wash out noise. So that's why I think I made some of those changes. But if the Is it still like that? Mine on too. Okay. And I can always check check myself because I can monitoring. There we go. Is that any better? Hopefully that helps a little bit. Keep talking. Looks like we're in clouds here in a little bit, so that's something to keep an eye on. We'll go ahead and should flip on our inertial separator. So we'll go ahead and come on out of 850 mode and turn our inertial separator back on. So we're back out of the 850 mode and added echo. Okay. All right. Let's not do what we just did. So back to filters and we'll just turn that off and see if that's any better. All right. Thanks, man. Talk to you later. No echo now. Good. All right. Yeah, it must have been just that plugin that I was running for the filters. Appreciate it. Let me know if you get those done. I'd like to try them out tonight, but if not, no big deal. Thanks for stopping by and leaving some comments. Appreciate the feedback. So, get some music going. Who's on here? Heading on down to Destin. Source to 185. Sounds good. Appreciate it. We're cruising around at 26,000 feet. Just now joining us. We're down to Destin, Florida. How's everybody doing in the back? So, up here in the TBM, if you would hit that like button and the subscribe button and the notification bell. I appreciate it. Just grow the channel. And plain sight, I'm with the SIMSTRUMENTATION guys. I'm one of the 4. It's me, Todd, Flight Level Rob, and Crunch or Autopilot, and we design instruments for Air Manager to be able to create a mouse-free cockpit, and we are just about set to release version 2 for all of our instruments for the TBM that will incorporate all the way from night lighting, extra instruments that wasn't in the first release, and like the fuel selector tank, the landing gear's done. We're doing the hobs now, and we've got the outside air temperature, all that's done. And we got the messages for the GPS. So we'll just take a tour around the cockpit, kind of show you what we've done now. So these buttons here, these message GPS buttons, we have those now. And then we have this outside air temperature gauge here. Got that done. I've got the landing gear done. And we have the inside, our cabin temperature. That is all done. So basically from here, this part, the hobs part, this whole section, this whole section, this section, this entire section. We also have the trims. We've got this now as well. Got the engine gauges, everything on here on this entire panel except for the free slave, which don't use that very much. I'm not even sure what it exactly does. I'm sure a pilot that has flown one of these knows exactly what it is. I am a pilot trying to do the commercial check ride soon. And hopefully my dream is to fly one of these one day for a living. Just like Steve on Evo. I took a shot in the dark and sent him a message on Instagram, and I seen if he would like to join, since they came out with the black square TBM, see if he'd like to join and kind of walk us through of how to fly one of these things. But he didn't respond, as he's probably busy flying in the real world. So, which I don't blame him. Don't blame him one bit. Yeah, I think I'm gonna redo this down here, the parking brake. Need to redo that, and then I do want to get these built as well. Storm clear switch, the EFIS switch, and get these testing, enunciator test, and then the terrain and all that stuff. I'd like to get all that done as well. So I do have some of the panels that are nighttime. So let's go ahead and try and take a look at that and see what it looks like. Guess I don't. I thought I did. Oh, whoops. There we go. Well, we've got about 138 nautical miles before we get to Destin. So we'll go ahead and let's see. I'm sure there's a procedure, and I'm sure there's an arrival that we could fly into Destin. Well, let's take a look. Nope, there's no arrivals. So, and it's going to be VFR when we get there. So don't have to worry about that. Hey, what's up, man? We are cruising along. We still got a little while. We got about 128 nautical miles till we get there. Cruising along about 289 knots ground speed. Glad you joined us back. No, I don't think Todd knows yet. Todd just usually jumps in whenever. I just told him to jump in earlier just so I could show him some stuff. So he's one of the guys. He's the guy that programmed all these instruments. Knowing Todd, he probably didn't even pay attention to really what was going on with the chat. He was probably just paying attention to what was going on with the issues. So, but yeah, once we get on the ground, I'll turn off the sim and reload the sim back up and test everything and get everything working again. But thanks for stopping back by here quite often. How's my voice? Does it sound muffled? Things are working better. I'm not running into any real big issues anymore. Okay, good. I don't want to sound muffled at all. Good. And can you actually hear the airplane and everything like that? I turn the music on. You can actually hear like the engine and all that stuff. No airplane noises. How about now? See if you can hear the airplane now. All right, good. Oh, good job. Airplanes are really cool to fly. They're a lot of fun. So we'll go into our utilities. Let's get our calculation we want to be. Let's check and see what the airport elevation is. For Destin, should be pretty close to sea level, 2380. So we want to be 1,500 feet off the ground, be 1,500 enter, and we'll do a 1,500 feet per minute, and we'll do nautical mile before we get to Destin. So we need to start down in 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and we'll start heading on down. Well then, sounds like you got some teaching to do. Got some teaching that you need to get done. What is your favorite airplane? Favorite airplane to fly, and favorite airplane that you fly in the simulator, I guess you would say. The Extra 300. Nice. That's a fun airplane. My son likes to fly that one. I have a 17-year-old son that likes to come down on the flight simulator, but he just likes to do barrel rolls. That's all he cares about. The sim I fly Delta Airlines. Nice. I usually fly American. I flew American Virtual Airlines for a virtual airline that was in the simulator. Yeah, he likes to roll it. That's for sure. Getting a nice little hazy out. We're starting our top of descent, so we'll go ahead and go on down to 1,500 feet. We'll just put, and then we'll VS that, and we'll VS that down to 1,500 feet per minute. And let's go ahead and go back to here and go to flight plan. I want to go to waypoint info, and we want to check the weather. Weather says it is 3012, so we'll go ahead so it knows to slow down the descent or what we need to be at. And it looks like 350 at 10 statute miles visibility. Got smoke in the vicinity, which we can definitely tell that, and that looks good. So our runners, they've got 1-4 and 3-2, and the wind is coming out of the north, so we'll use 3-2. Probably enter a left downwind for 3-2, and we'll just hand fly her on in. Lazy summertime. I don't know what that song would be, but so we'll go ahead and set our pressurization to sea level plus 500, so it will start to slowly descend. Go. Alright, slow the pressurization down just a little bit, descend about 600 feet per minute. See volcanoes on the sim or an Xbox. I'm sure you probably can. So we're getting a little bit of windshield heat, so we'll go ahead and turn on all of our icing, airframe de-ice, prop de-ice, just to make sure we don't ice over here. So we've got all of our icing protection turned on. Prop de-ice is on. For some reason it doesn't do it in the virtual cockpit, but you can see that the light is on. So our music back in. I don't know if you can see volcanoes. I know that there is a big mountain. I can't think of the name of the mountain, but it's out towards Seattle, and you can see that one, but it's not a volcano, it's just a big mountain. So I don't know. You want to see if we can go find some volcanoes sometime? I'd say we probably need to make a trip over to Hawaii if we want to see some volcanoes. I would think. I'm not a big volcano know where it is, so you know where one is, let me know. I'm glad you like the music. Well, let's do it, man. I'm always looking for somewhere to fly, somewhere new, something different. Did a lot of West Coast flying whenever I flew for the virtual airline, so a lot of my first part of my channel, whenever I was first starting to stream, I did a lot of virtual airlines, flying the Phoenix, flying the fly-by-wire, and then I got back to what I really like doing. I do like the airline stuff. That's kind of cool. Airline operations, it's a lot longer flight. I like being able to, something like this, be able to get in and just take off and fly somewhat quickly, so that way we're not spending an hour on the ground. So best friend that don't know you, you're always here joining the stream, and you're always bringing positive vibes. You're a big supporter of the channel. I do appreciate it. So you're welcome anytime you want, friend. Once this channel gets out there and more people watch it, you'll get to be the moderator of the chat. Let you moderate the chat, and you get to tell people that they got to be nice. No problem. Thank you for joining the stream. You've been here all the time. So how did you find this channel, if you don't mind me asking? All of our prop de-ice and everything, I think we're there. We'll leave the windshield heat on. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. You found it by typing flight sim. Awesome. Well, good. I'm glad the algorithm of YouTube is working. You can see the ocean out there off in the distance. Big old water. No, what we should do after this is we should start making our way down to the Miami area and maybe do some Bahama flying. Go down to the Bahamas where Steve-O, One Knievo, take his plane down there. See if we can't find some fun trips down there in the Bahamas. Maybe go on over to... That's right. We want family friendly and fun. Amen to that. I got 3 kids, so I got to keep it appropriate so my kids can watch it. That's what this is built on. We're going to come through 10,000 feet, so we'll go ahead and flip on our landing lights. Got our knobs on. It's daytime, so we'll go ahead and put on our pulse lights. And check this out. So you see how those lights up there are blinking? The landing lights, the left and the right. Now the left, now the right. So up on my panel, they actually do the same thing. So I'll switch over to my camera, and then I'll point it up at the, you see, that's pretty cool. Sure, Todd had a lot of fun trying to figure that one out. Let's go ahead and double check the weather, make sure I got everything right. So still 350 at 4 and 3012. That looks good. And we'll be coming in on runway 32. That looks good. So I like it. Ask, and I tell them no, can't be rude, and then they ask what we'll do when they want to. I hate when that happens, but I'm not like that. Oh, ask for moderate, yeah, and tell them no. There's no point in being rude to anybody. There's somebody that's being annoying in the chat, just be nice to them, and hopefully they'll move on. But you do find the trolls that just like to get on there and troll and be rude to everybody. But we got to make this world a better place, leave it better than we found it. So a couple airports down there. That might be, I believe that is VPS. That's where all the airliners fly, the rabbits on the runways down there. That's where the big airliners fly into. Coming down through 10,000 feet. Yeah, no problem. Sorry about the crash earlier. I don't know what happened. I honestly don't. I don't know. Very rarely have had crashed to desktops or anything like that, so I can't say that I know what exactly happened. Bet that happened once on Xbox. Yeah, it's not good, man. That stinks. I do have the airport in sight out in front of us. Whoa, some big old bumps. Getting a little bumpy in here. You got your seatbelt on? Go ahead and start pulling us back a little bit here. Start slowing us down a little bit. It stinks, then I go back and do it again, and you did, and stuff runs smoothly. Yeah, things are running smooth as right now, so that's always a good thing. So we've got plenty of fuel. Something that you always check on off the right fuel tank, and we'll go ahead and do a shift. There we go. Now we're burning off the left tank, which is the fullest tank, as we start to get ready to come on down through 10,000. We're at 5,000 now, and start slowing her down a little bit. Just got about 13 nautical miles. So usually this is a Class D airport, Delta. So we would be talking to probably right now and coordinate with 12 out. We'd be talking to the tower right now. They would be giving us directions on what they wanted us to do, which she'd probably tell us enter left downwind for 3-2, and that's what we have planned. So that's what we're going to set up for. Fine tomorrow morning. Nice. Yeah, turbulence in the real world it stinks. It's not fun. It'll hurt you. I've hitting some bumps before and hit my head on top of up there. It doesn't feel good, that's for sure. All right, then get a stereo cockpit. Got about 1,000 to go till we get to our 2,000 that we set. Once we get a little bit closer, we'll go ahead and turn on autopilot, and we will hand fence. So I'm going to go ahead and set up 320 in my heading bug, so that way I know which way the runway is to be able to fly the pattern as we come on in here to Destin. So over there would actually right there, that would be VPS. That's where the airliners fly. Be that airport right there, and right out in front of us is Destin. Welcome to Destin. Good look at the ocean over there. Looks nice and beautiful. And then there's the big old long bridge that goes over. It's a toll bridge. Actually driven over that myself on there into Destin. I'm glad you're enjoying it, man. Got Destin right out in front of us. You can kind of see that right out there. So this is a smaller airport, so it's going to take a little bit. Never heard. Nope. Destin is my name. Destin is the town that we're flying into here in Florida. So right there's Destin, and there's the airport. So we will go ahead and disconnect the autopilot, and we will start setting up for a left downwind at the departure into the runway. We'll really start pulling her back, and there's the runway right there. From Nashville to Destin, that's right. Alright, so we'll go ahead and start our turn, outbound leg. We'll go ahead and turn off our flight director, and we'll go flaps 10, and we'll go ahead and go gear down, and we'll go ahead and start this off. So we're good there. Landing lights are on. We got 3 green.
Don't sink.
We're not going to sink. And a little close to the runway. That one, that's why we overshot and we'll go ahead and go flaps full. Get lined up with the runway here as we bring on down. Remember, you pitch for your airspeed and you use your throttle to descend. There would be our decision height. We needed to go around for 200 feet, and we'll go ahead and go full throttle back to idle and begin our fire a little bit, and welcome to Destin. Back into beta, and we'll go ahead and come on out of beta. And here we are. Why do they say don't sink? That means that it's just telling you that your sink rate is more than the 500 feet per minute, and you're sinking at a too big of a rate. So sorry, I didn't pay attention to the comments as I was starting. So we'll go ahead and go on down to the FBO down here to the right. And now that we are off the runway, we will go ahead and let's go ahead and get everything cleaned up. So we'll go, flaps are coming up, go landing lights, pulse lights are off, landing lights are off, taxi light is on, pulse light is off, and we'll go ahead and leave navs and strobes on, and flaps are all good. So here we go. We are good to taxi. Yes, you did. Thank you for the nice words of the great landing. It's all right. Wasn't too bad. I'll take that. I appreciate all of those, my friend. I appreciate all those hearts. Go on down here to the fuel panel. Watch out for this guy. This guy might take off our wing. I don't know what he would be doing. I didn't call for the fire department to come on out. All right, this looks like the FBO and the fuel tanks. So let's go park beside the fuel tanks. Make sure that we get fuel before we go on. So Ghost Rider, where are we going next, my friend? We're going to start heading over towards Miami so we can start doing some Bahama runs. All right, here we are. So we'll go ahead and set our parking brake. Parking brake is set. Go ahead and kill the master. We can go ahead and turn our master radios off. There we go. I'll tell you how we can turn the ignition to off, and we can go ahead and feather the prop and there we are. Bahama time, I like it. Oh, no worries on the spelling. No worries. I'm not an English teacher. Well, thank you so much for joining along. I appreciate it, and we will see you the next time. All right, buddy. Have a good night.